Is it a bad time to buy a house in Dallas-Fort Worth? Is it a bad time to sell a house? Those are reasonable questions, and depending on who you ask, you're likely to get very different answers. If you ask a real estate professional, and I realize I am a real estate professional, you're likely to hear that there are pros and cons to selling in any market, and then the real estate professional should help you take advantage of the pros of moving in that market, because that's our job. If you're looking to move, it's our job to help negotiate the best deal possible for you. If you're looking to get your answers from YouTubers and influencers, you're likely to get the doomsday side of the real estate story, because that's their job. Their job is to get clicks and views, and sensational content is going to get more views than a title that says everything is fine, carry on with your normal life. So what's the truth? The truth is that both sides are always correct to some degree. There are pros and cons to moving in any market. The real estate professional should help you take advantage of the pros. The YouTubers are usually going to emphasize the cons. Occasionally you'll get flat out dishonesty or ignorance from either side, so watch out for that. Usually there's a little bit of truth in there. And so here's what I tell my clients. The right time to move is when it makes sense for your family to move. Don't listen to the YouTubers, don't even listen to the real estate professionals. You should move when it's the right time for your family. I'll give you some examples of some of my clients this year for whom it was the right time to move, some for whom it was the wrong time to move. I'll keep them anonymous, and since the title of this video says, is it a bad time to buy a house? I'll start with some clients for whom it was a bad time. Bad time to buy, number one, you don't qualify. Maybe you need to pay off some debts, save for a down payment. That's great. Let's focus on those steps. When you're ready, we'll get you into the right house. Bad time to buy, number two, it would cost an arm and a leg to break your lease. Typically, we can find a way around this issue, but if your lease ends in September, maybe November is not the best time to buy a house. What about bad times to sell? Number one, you just had your first kid, you just got a new local job, you'd like to move, but adding a house transition on top of becoming first-time parents and a job transition might be a little much to handle. Get settled into the new job, focus on being a mom and dad. We can sell your house when you're ready. By the way, I've had buyers in that exact same situation this year, and it made sense for them to wait as well. Family comes first. The idea of buying a house is that it would be helpful for your family. If it's going to be detrimental, don't do it. Bad time to sell, number two, you've been in your house for less than 2 years and you don't have enough equity to meet your financial goals as a seller. Hang tight, you'll get that equity margin eventually. The general rule is that you need to stay in your house for 2 years to recoup closing costs and account for any market fluctuations. What about good times to sell? Good time to sell, number one, you're being relocated and you don't want to be a long distance landlord. I can relate. I don't want to be a long distance landlord either. Sounds like it's time to sell and move on to your next place. Good time to sell, number two, you want to get your family into a different school district, but you need the equity from your house in order to make that move. If that's what's best for your family, let's sell the current house, use that equity towards the next house, get you into that neighborhood and that school district that's right for you. By the way, that also qualifies as a good time to buy. Here's another couple of examples of good times to buy. Good time to buy, number one, your current living situation feels out of control, and for the sake of your family, you need a living situation that's more under control. Maybe your landlord is being unreasonable, maybe you're living with extended family and it's putting stress on the entire family. There are lots of ways that your living situation can feel out of control. Owning a house does not mean that you'll be without problems, but it does mean that you'll be in control of addressing those problems, not your landlord, not your uncle. Good time to buy, number two, you've saved up to buy, you're qualified, and you're tired of renting. Maybe renting isn't a good situation for your family. Maybe your landlord just notified you that rent will be going up dramatically for the third year in a row, and you'd just rather get ahead of that trend and start putting money towards a home that you own, even if it means paying a little bit more this year. And yes, almost everybody pays more in year one of owning a home than you would pay in year one of renting. Home buying is a forward-thinking mindset. It's not how much is rent now and how much is a mortgage now. It's how much is a mortgage now and how much will rent be 3, 5, 10, 20 years from now. Some people just want to break that cycle. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I post videos every week. Happy November. Happy Thanksgiving.